Tonight on Dice to Pixels, we talk about the escape of a lot of former talent at the Escapist, leading to the second wind of a new venture.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty
That was
good.
fucking good.
God damn.
That was
Well done.
that was Emmy award winning
Wow.
right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
This is not CNN.
Yeah. So you told us about this. So
So earlier in the week, for those of you that know or don't know or whatever, the Escapist was a very, I say was.
It is. It still exists.
Still is for now, I guess. But it's been a really good YouTube channel and site for gaming news and entertainment news, as well as they had a wonderful campaign, like a D&D campaign going over there. And then, of course, Yahtzee with zero punctuation. Nick Calandra, who is now their former editor-in-chief from The Escapist, was let go this week. He made it quite clear that he didn't take a severance and refused to sign an NDA so he could explain why he was fired from that. But once he was fired, pretty much all of the actual faces for the channel, all of the personalities like Yahtzee and Jack Packard, Amy Campbell, Matt Laughlin, Darren Mooney, Casey Wosu,
Jesse Galena, all of their behind the scenes people too, editors.
A massive amount.
Yeah, like a lot. They all left as well.
Most of their video department.
Yeah. And a couple days later, actually this past Wednesday, Nick Calandra and Yahtzee Croshaw did a stream on their new channel called Second Wind, just explaining very briefly what happened and what their plans are for Second Wind. Nick Calandra had an interview with GameIndustry.biz, and I'll just read a bit of why he was terminated from The Escapist. They're owned by a group called Gamers. So this is what Nick had to say about it. Quote, we were given unattainable goals in a very short amount of time after being sold to gamers by Enthusiast Gaming. In addition to being editor-in-chief of The Escapist, I was a YouTube strategist for the last 6 months, tasked with helping build an entire video department from scratch that was asked to grow both in viewership and get profitable, but with no plan from upper management to actually do so. He added, the entire Escapist team put their heart into every piece of work we put out, and the talent brought in was unmatched. That kind of talent isn't cheap, and my mission with The Escapist was to not be driven primarily by views, but by direct funding through premium memberships and live streams. That was working, and we were growing year over year for all 4 years I ran The Escapist. Unfortunately, while ultimately more sustainable in the long run and not being reliant on shifting ad revenue from quarter to quarter, that kind of growth wasn't fast enough for gamers in the short term, despite our model clearly growing year after year. End quote.
Yeah. So so you give your take on this first, and then I'm going to come in as a bit of a devil's advocate.
Well, so Sarah and I have been following The Escapist basically since Nick has been hired. We were watching beforehand, but Nick came on as EIC, and he really did, like, he turned that channel and that site around. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
With,
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that aspect.
Yeah.
Like, he was instrumental.
Yeah, he was great. And the one thing I really enjoyed about, and it still holds true now, Nick is very forthcoming with information about plans for what he's doing with the channel or what the goals are and all that stuff. I used to support them via channel membership and Patreon for a time. And they would do these monthly streams where he would just say like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah,
State
blah.
of the channel. Yeah. It's pretty common. Yeah.
Yep.
And he was very forthcoming with info. And I really dug that from, a channel, an EIC for a channel that I enjoyed watching. The content was always there. I mean, zero punctuation, that was going to do well regardless of where it was at. I mean, we could have zero punctuation on our channel and it would do well.
It's also his personality.
And it's Yahtzee. It's Yahtzee, yeah.
Yes.
But
in time, it would have done well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Nick grew that so that it wasn't just reliant on that one property. They did all kinds of, like, the 3-minute reviews are great.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine most people are familiar with The Escapist.
Yeah.
If you're not, check it out. Like, it's whether it continues being good or not, it certainly was.
Yeah. So when I seen this, I was shocked, just because they had just announced like a bunch of stuff with regards to Patreon and some other ways to financially support the channel. And then to be fired, at first I was like, okay, something's weird here. But when I started seeing basically the entire team either like quit as well, clearly the bigwigs up top or did something fucking stupid.
Yeah. So a lot of people sort of initial reaction, and it's not unreasonable, but I don't actually think it's necessarily correct, is sort of, they're just being jerks. They're being mean, or they're like they're greedy, they're whatever. And they are. Like all companies are greedy to some extent.
Yeah.
But what I was saying to Chad and Sarah a little bit earlier is my guess would be that this is mostly incompetence. I suspect that when gamers bought the Escapist properties and staff, they had it in their mind that it was going to be whatever the number is, whether it's 10 million or 100 million or a billion or whatever the fuck the actual number is. They had this idea that it was going to start turning all this profit for them, and they probably expected that and promised certain people or like got into too many merch. They went the wormwood route, and I'll explain that in a second. But essentially what happens with a lot of these companies is that they get into a situation, whether by buying stuff or whatever, that they have to produce all of these results, and then they just send that down as an edict to the team saying like, you have to grow your views by 5,000% this year. It doesn't matter if it's doable. That's what we need to maintain our bottom line. And this to me reeks of that. This is like the people at the top did something fundamentally stupid because they don't understand the media, the whatever. And, people got caught in the crossfire. The good thing is that these are YouTube personalities and YouTube video creators. They're already bootstrapped on a new channel, so like they're gonna do just fine.
And six, like I mean, already over 100,000 subs.
Yeah, they're gonna do
already.
Just fine.
So
they're gonna be better off in the long term.
And they haven't even posted a new video yet. And
they've done a couple live streams. They have a live stream channel, and then they have like their premium channel, which is Second Wind and then Second Wind Live. But they make really good content
for sure.
I mean, Sarah and I have both said we watched Jack Packard's D&D game called Adventures 9, which had a lot of the personalities that Yahtzee Croshaw played in it. Amy Campbell, Casey Wosu, and Jesse Galena all played in the game, and it was really fun to watch. They added that the animation style from like the zero punctuation art style into the characters, and they had like the little animated sections while they were going through stuff in game. But it was good. It was really, really good. It was entertaining. It was fun.
They do great work.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's occasional people who are jerks about it because they have some, be up their ass about it. But like, no, they do great stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
so
nobody's arguing.
No.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. So, I mean, like it definitely wasn't a content issue.
No, well, so the one thing I will say where I am going to play devil's...
Sorry, before I continue on to, Nick's also explicitly said, like, don't be slinging any kind of hate towards the Escapist. I mean, it's not the Escapist's fault, like what's happened here, and the people that are there and the people that write articles and stuff, they're just doing their jobs. It's, it is what it is. It's not their fault, and he made it quite clear that not to be dicks.
Well, he made it clear that it is gamers, not Escapists, that are the problem here.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to kind of...
that's a good thing to call it. So I do think, for what it's worth, that he was doing the wrong thing. I don't doubt that gamers were being dumb about it. And this is unrelated to him being let go or otherwise. I think that channels who try to make their money direct from users through Patreon, through memberships, whatever, I think that channels that try to make that a major revenue source, like the primary revenue source, are destined for failure is not the right word, but suboptimal performance compared to what they could. If you think about it, the amount of ad dollars, by pimping World of Tanks, and the like, you can make so much more money
yeah,
doing
that's
that.
a guaranteed revenue.
Well, whether it's guaranteed or not, what it doesn't do is take any money out of your viewers' pockets.
Yes. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's a guaranteed revenue, whereas with depending on viewers, it is dependent on the whims of them and if they have the extra cash to give.
Well, and people get fatigued, right?
Yes.
So this is actually, you can find lots of interesting psychological studies on this and everything else. If you subscribe to somebody's Patreon for, let's say, $5 a month, whatever, at first you're gonna be like, cool, I'm getting all this new stuff. This is great. This is awesome. I'm getting like live streams or whatever. Everything's great. But humans are fantastically good at making the status quo seem uninteresting. And so 6 months down the line, after you've been paying the $5 forever, you're going to be like, oh, I'm not really getting anything out of this anymore. Even though, of course, you are. But like, there's tons of psychology papers that deal with this exact phenomenon. And so when you rely on sort of memberships and everything else from your users, you can, not every case, but you can, and more often than not, you get into this sort of like payment fatigue from your viewers, and you either always have to like come up with something new, which is tiring and everything else, or you have to figure out a way to like stave that off. Whereas advertisers, they're always new. Like this week's it's World of Tanks, next week it's whatever, Raid Legends, next week it's Battleships at Sea, whatever the fuck. There's always a new.
Not sponsored.
And we're not sponsored by. However, Raid Shadow Legends, if you want to sponsor us, World of Tanks,
Forever Gaming.
Yeah, Forever Gaming is the closest as a sponsor we get. And
Yeah.
it's the anti-sponsor.
Yeah.
But
sponsor.
so like I do think that he was probably potentially going at it the wrong way, just because there's good reasons to say, and it's not just something that I'm like off the cuffing. There is lots of research on this exact topic. It is trickier to maintain profitability on the long term through like memberships and everything than it is to do through advertising and stuff like that. You're better off getting revenue from viewers through things like merch.
Yeah. That makes
In
sense.
the long run, in the short run, and in smaller communities, it's less of an issue. Like if we did a Patreon, not that we're going to anytime soon, we're such a small community that everybody would always kind of feel like they're part of something special.
Yes.
The bigger you get, the less you get of that. And so it's a problem.
Yeah.
So I actually do think that his revenue strategy, as he explained it, I mean, I'm sure there was more to it than that, but as explained, I think it probably was lacking. I also think that has nothing to do with gamers being idiots and delivering unreasonable requests.
It never really occurred to me that would be the psychology for people going in and joining a Patreon or a sponsorship or something is, I want more of it. Like, I want more out of this.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, like when I'm going in and I'm joining a Patreon or supporting podcasts that I listen to, it's because I've gotten so much out of their content and I appreciate what they're putting out, that is my reason. I like, one of my favorite podcasts is a book podcast that I've been supporting for a while. And you can, like when you first supported them during their big drive, you could put in a request for book recommendations, and then you can also still join a Slack channel that they have. I have not taken advantage of any of that sort of stuff because I'm like, I don't care about that myself. I am thankful for the fact that they do this weekly podcast with books that has made my to-read list well over 1,000 books now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the healthy attitude regarding things like Patreon and everything, and that's the attitude that I tend to have as well. But that is actually not in any way the majority. Most people join Patreons and memberships to get the extra stuff. I mean, I'm a Y-Files patron, and like most, I would say, of the patrons, at least the ones that have been there for a while, you know, if AJ's running late on a video or something, people are like, we're not here for that. It doesn't matter. But there, you get some that are like, hey, like we're supposed to get the video early. It's like, fair enough. If you're here for a transactional relationship, fair enough. But you know, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So one of the Patreons that I follow is a musician that I like. He's probably one of my biggest influences guitar wise, Clint Lowry. plays guitar for Seven Dust, and he puts out his own stuff, and it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And I support him 100%. I love the work he does. But one of the biggest reasons why I kind of went that route was I'm about 3.5 years sober now. When I initially decided like enough's enough, I know that he went through a battle with sobriety as well, like going sober and stuff. And just on a whim, I threw out a tweet at the time. It was a tweet. Just asking.
Continue. I have something on that, but keep going.
Just asking him, what kind of help can you give a guy just starting his road to sobriety? And he replied to me and gave me some, pretty good advice. Like, that floored me. Like, I took a screen grab of the tweet, of the reply and all that. It floored me that, like, this man took time out of his day to, like, say, hey, like, you can do this, one day at a time, strengthen numbers, talk to people and all that stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. And I did. So when my 1 year came up, I tweeted, I put that picture up, and then I retweeted, like, here we are 1 year later, I'm clean, sober. And he was like, right on, man. Like, that's so awesome. And just kind of, it's just those things, like, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah. For sure.
And irregardless, I love the guy's work.
Yep.
I think he's a great human being, and like, hell yeah, I'm going to support him.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the healthy attitude towards these things is like, I like what you're doing, so I'm going to support the shit out of you. But that's not how a lot of people do
No.
it.
That's unfortunate.
But that kind of story is amazing. And sorry, you said it's almost 3 years, or it's been 3 years?
It's over 3.5 years now.
Yeah. I must have missed the 3-year mark. Anyways, congratulations.
May 2nd.
Oh fuck, I missed it by a lot.
It's my yeah. So,
but so anyways, the overall point there is like it's trickier to rely on your viewers for your profit, your revenues, than to rely on companies that, like, on the one hand, you've got companies that want to pay you to advertise things. And on the other hand, you've got users that may or may not want to pay you, but you're like, hey, like, I'll give you some stuff if you like pay me. It's just, it's more reliable on the long term to go the advertising route. Yeah. So, but with that said, like, I'm also not claiming that they weren't advertising or anything. It's just like, the way he was describing the monetization, it's like you might have been going the wrong approach. On the other hand, if companies would stop trying to, I mentioned wormwooding, like this reminded me so much of Wormwood. Like, the instant I heard it, I was like, this sounds like a Wormwood situation. And what I mean by that is Wormwood went and bought this other company and introduced all this extra stuff and ran this massive Kickstarter. And now they're in this situation where they've got to fucking bring out dog beds and shit to try and keep the engine running. And I feel like that's what happened with the gamers is they're like, we have to make $40 million a year or whatever the number is. And so it's on the Escapist to make, 4 or 5 of that or whatever the numbers are. It doesn't really matter. When what they should have done is just say, like, hey, we're making money. Let's just keep doing that and like grow organically instead of trying to force it. Yeah. So, but
it's clear as day. They're going to do well. They're going to succeed. Second Wind's going to be fun to watch. And
well, they already are. Yeah, I mean, they're already at 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. They're already successful.
Yeah. Like, I know their kind of go stream is tomorrow night, or sorry, tonight actually, because this will be Saturday.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they got planned. Nick's good shit, and
it'll be great.
The entire crew is great. So
it'll be great. It's good people.
Yeah, definitely checking it out. Check it out if you're into that kind of content.
But make sure you watch us first.
Yeah, but watch us first. Yeah.
Always watch us. Watch us 2 or 3 times first, and then
and then go there and tell those people to also watch us.
Yeah.
So I said I had something on the tweeting thing.
Yes.
So this is why Elon is watching tonight.
So right, you did mention that.
We have a tradition on the channel where anytime we're speaking to a CEO or otherwise, they're watching. They're obviously not, but it's tradition. So Elon mentioned in an interview that he hadn't figured out what tweeting was now, because it's X now, and he hasn't. It's Xting.
It sounds too much like sexting.
That's fine, and Elon would like that because he's weird.
Yeah.
So Elon, it's Xting. That's what it's called. And I want this on record because he's going to come out with that sooner or later. He's going to think of it and then it's going to be Xting. I had it first. It was my idea. So it's on the record now.
We will take 1% profit
Yeah,
share.
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's clearly Xting. He would love that it sounds like sexting, and like it would be right up his alley. So when he announces it, I did it. It's me. I had the idea.
Fuck. So where on the episode 71 highway do you want to take this?
I think we should talk about the. Well, do we want to talk about the Warner Brothers moving to live service, or do we want to talk about some of the smaller stuff first?
Well,
First of all, actually, first, only not because I have anything really to say about it, but only because last week we made a big deal of Bungie. Ubisoft laid off 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of similar feelings on that as Bungie.
Yeah.
Not super surprising. I also think percentage-wise, that's a way smaller amount, I think. But since we made an announcement about Bungie last week, I thought it was only fair. So that's done. We've mentioned it.
And it was also interesting that because Sony's delayed half of the PlayStation Live Service games that they had planned.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of that lately with a lot of the live service stuff.
You know, it's
Which,
funny.
Yeah, makes the next part so
what
funny.
a segue.
Yeah.
Well, it is a segue. It's also you were mentioning the short that you posted, which was about me talking about AAA game studios having trouble figuring out what the fuck to do and like buying smaller companies and everything else. I think we're seeing that. Like, I think we're seeing the very leading edge of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, continue.
Yeah. So, even though the market is showing that live service games aren't doing well, Warner Brothers wants to move all of their major games to live service.
So that would be Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Probably anything DC based.
Yep.
For sure.
Do they own Hogwarts?
Yes.
Or did they?
Yes. That's actually three of the things mentioned in this Eurogamer
there you go.
article.
Swish.
So I think you've got some good stuff here, but I will just add that one of the headlines that I saw, which I thought summed it up pretty well, was Warner Brothers is said to be moving all of their major games to live service games, which is somehow different than what they've been trying to do for the last several years.
Yeah, because I mean, Mortal Kombat is just loaded with microtransactions.
I mean, they've been trying to do that forever, and it's dumb. But anyways, you have some stuff on this.
Yeah, no, the CEO David Zlasva, whatever, doesn't matter.
Zaslav, probably.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm bad at words. Anyway, he was quoted in this article as Our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises from largely console and PC based with 3 to 4 year release cycles to include more more always on gameplay through live service, multi-platform and free-to-play extensions, with the goal to have more players spending more time on more platforms. Ultimately, we want to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles and at higher levels. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate greater post-purchase revenue.
Yeah, which they mean microtransactions and monthly fees. Okay. I mean, not okay, but okay. Well, monthly fees are fine, done properly.
Yeah.
I don't have a fundamental problem with them. But they're going to fuck it up.
Oh, yeah, because the games that they're going to do were never designed to be live service type games. Whereas if you take something like World of Warcraft and I guess even Destiny and anything like that, they were originally designed to be live service games. So it makes sense for them to be online all the time.
Well, so in fairness, I'm assuming that what they mean by this is that they're going to come out with they're going to try and come out with like a World of Warcraft, except it'll be World of Hogwarts or something.
Yeah.
I assume that's what they mean by this. I just still think they're going to fuck it up because it's Warner Brothers and they pretty much fuck up everything.
Can you imagine having to pay like, I don't know, $12 a month to play Mortal Kombat?
Oh my God.
I mean, I can imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, but I don't play Mortal Kombat to begin with. So here's the thing, like, I don't think they would do a monthly service for Mortal Kombat. I think what they would do is the whatever Dota or League of Legends or whatever the fuck, whatever
the gotcha stuff.
Well, the new heroes. What I don't even know what the current game that people are playing with the heroes is. I saw it just recently today. I'm so out of that world. I don't even know what it's called. But one of the games was they're releasing a new hero. The next 3 heroes to be released are announced or something.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be that shit. It'll be like, oh, you want to play the new Mortal Kombat character? It's $9.99 or whatever. That's how
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat will work.
Yeah. Well, that's
Or
kind of what they've
season
been
passes.
doing anyway.
Yeah.
Buying the add-on, like you can play Terminator and
Well,
stuff
it's
like that,
it's like the headline said, like this is somehow different than what they're already doing.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, I expect that they're going to try and make an MMO version of Hogwarts, which done correctly could be amazing.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Done badly, it will suck balls. So
Which it probably will.
Probably will. Yeah. But I like the Reddit comment.
Yeah, the Reddit comments. Great.
Yeah. So my favorite Reddit comment from the thread that I found this article through was from Solid Snake HAK777. Anthem would like to have a word with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This. I mean, on the surface, this sounds dumb. But I think a lot of what people do is already like Fortnite. I think is the dumbest fucking thing
Yeah.
ever, right?
Yeah.
And people love it. People
Yeah.
keep buying new shit for Fortnite. So like if they're doing that and no judgment, that's fine. If you're into Fortnite, that is fine. I don't get it. But that's cool. And if they can replicate that with a Warner Brothers title, who are we to say that's stupid or a bad thing? That's
Mhm.
fine. It's just, are they going to actually succeed in that?
Yeah.
No.
No,
They're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to look at everything that is live service that's doing well, make a cookie cutter version of
Yeah.
that, and then it's going to do well for few months,
Yeah.
and then it's going to die off, and they're going to shut down all the servers and
Yeah.
piss off the people that actually do enjoy the game.
Yeah, I believe you are exactly correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then, also, they're still obviously going to win in terms of getting sales based off what I just said. But people beforehand are going to bitch and moan about it online, but then they're still going to give them their money.
well, they're going to win in the short term. So
Yes.
this goes back to what we were talking about. I think it was just last week where we
Mhm.
were talking about sort of burning goodwill by releasing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, because it was about the Bungie stuff.
Yeah.
It'll work for the first few releases, and then people will be like, "Well, everything you're releasing is just money grubbing bullshit."
Yeah.
Like, Peter Molyneux is counting on the fact that he can do that for the rest of his life, and so far he seems to sort of be succeeding. So maybe there's room for that, but they're going to burn goodwill, and eventually they're going to run out if they
Mhm.
do stupid. Now, on the other hand, it could be that they're going to get the right people who make good games, and
Yep.
they're going to actually put in the time and do this right. It could go that way.
It could be a GTA 5 situation.
Right. I don't think anyone thinks that's the route they will
Yeah.
take.
Yeah, because I honestly feel that a Hogwarts game that's like an MMO where you're playing as a student in Hogwarts,
Oh, could be amazing.
I have no
yeah.
doubt that it would be good.
Oh yeah,
Um,
done well. It
Yeah.
could be the most popular game
Mm.
of the
Yeah.
year plus.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah, and especially if they let people do like what Rockstar has been paired up now with 5M to do.
Oh sure, custom
do role-
servers.
Oh god, yeah, custom servers.
Role-play servers and stuff.
Fucking
yeah.
would go bonkers with that.
Yeah, like if they do it right, it could be huge.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thinks they'll do it right.
No.
I'm not giving them any of my
No,
damn money.
Well, I'm not going to pre-order anything. They're coming. I'll probably give, if they release a Hogwarts MMO, Danielle, if nobody else will get it, because like, come on, and
Yeah.
I imagine you'll sign up too. But
I mean, not until I know it's like decent.
yeah,
though.
like I'm not going to pre-order anything.
No.
But if they release something Hogwartsy as an MMO, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
100%.
I honestly think they dropped the ball by not doing that first.
I think everyone thought when they initially
Heard about it that
announced
it was going to be
Yeah.
an MMO. Yeah.
the number of people who were like, "Oh, it's an MMO." It's like, no, actually, it's not.
Yeah. Even the fact that there's no co-op or there's no multiplayer
nothing.
in any kind,
Yeah.
like holy fuck, did they drop that ball?
Yeah, if they had made it so you could play that co-op, oh my god, that would make everything out like all the fucking collectathon bloat.
Yeah.
That would make that so much more bearable.
So if we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not saying they deserve it, but if we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, the reason they didn't do that is because they were planning an MMO and they didn't want to like
Jump the gun.
half-ass it.
Yeah.
Is that why? No, they just screwed it up because they didn't think far enough ahead.
Yeah.
Probably. But maybe they had a game plan, and maybe it will make perfect sense in a few years.
Yeah.
I doubt it. But
Well, they're idiots then, because with a property like Harry Potter, to not think right off the bat like, maybe I should make an MMO first.
well, they may have.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Mhm.
at Steve Jobs at Apple, they wanted to make the iPad first.
He's dead now.
I'm aware. He wanted to make the iPad first, but the technology wasn't really there. Like the screen resolution wasn't good enough for things like medical imaging and everything else. So they made the iPhone first because they were like, we did the pathfinding for the iPad, but we can make a phone. We can't really make the iPad good enough yet. So maybe they've been working on an MMO
Yeah.
in the background, and they got to a point where they were like, well, listen, we've got a massive Hogwarts modeled out, and we've got like stories, and we've got all this stuff. Maybe we just put out a game now and keep working on the MMO for a few more years.
That would explain the 52 Merlin trials.
It could be. I doubt that's the case, but if
they needed to fill up a game.
yeah, if we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, it is entirely possible that that is the map is big enough to be at least the start of an MMO.
Yeah.
Everything about that game could have been MMOE.
Mhm.
If they're doing it right, you build the game, and then you also need to build all the servers and the infrastructure and the monetization and everything else. So maybe they're still working on that. I highly doubt that's the case, but I'm just saying it could be.
I think that's the other thing is infrastructure. I don't think WB has the
No,
infrastructure.
they would want to buy
something like
somebody
that,
or have somebody else make it for sure.
Yeah.
And also they shouldn't do it that way anyways. What they should do is get a hold of Niantic and make a live action Harry Potter. For real.
Yeah,
there was one, but it's shit.
Oh.
There was a live action Harry Potter game.
Okay, yep.
But it was garbage.
Yeah.
They should do a good one.
Yeah.
Because people were like, when that came out, people were like, oh my fucking God, this is so cool. But it wasn't. It was crap.
Yeah.
So I turned off my little thing again. That's why I got quiet.
I was wondering why some fucking guy at the intersection said Revelio to me. And I was like, dude, what?
Right?
Pants fall off.
Yeah. They have hearts on them.
Yeah. So anyways, there's lots of things they could do right here. It's just, like I said, I don't think anyone thinks they'll do it right.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think people's reactions are correct, even though there is room for it to be a good thing.
The optimist in me is really, really hoping for a good one.
We can always hope.
Yes.
You have
And
a
then be
semi-truck
disappointed.
inside you?
Okay. See?
That's just payback. That shit is.
For those that obviously don't know because it was off camera, I screw up words all the time, and Chad picks on me for it.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
And so I do it to him on
I
occasion.
might have been recording. Maybe I can stitch it in. Anyways, so that's the Warner Brothers thing. Probably going to be terrible, but it might be fun.
Yeah.
But hey, Steam announced a new version of the Steam Deck.
Well, Steam came out with a couple of new things.
Valve.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny because
Valve.
Everyone just calls it Steam, even though it's actually Valve.
Yeah, the Steam Deck OLED was announced and is going to be available on November 16th.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Significant size in storage. The upgrade, the top line models are 1 terabyte. There's also a limited edition 1 terabyte OLED for US and Canada only. Yeah, clear with like red thumbsticks.
Yeah, it's.
Or
remember we talked about like the translucent cases?
Yeah.
So it's that.
Yeah.
I still want to get a translucent case at some point.
Well, you can buy a brand new OLED Steam Deck.
No, it's not purple though.
No, it's not. So yeah, I mean the OLED, great. I thought from day one that it would benefit from an OLED. I think they didn't do it for battery purposes or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. They did say that they expect people to try and put the OLED in the older Steam Decks, and I didn't read into this, but basically their wording was like it won't go well. So
yeah.
So if you're thinking about doing that, make sure you do your reading.
Yep. They increased the battery charge by up from anywhere 30 to 50%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Depending on the game, of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 on it, it's still going to suck power like a...
Well, it's still going to suck power. They did upgrade the APU to the Sephiroth version, which presumably gives it a bit more horsepower. Sephiroth. I assume it gives it a little spec bump, but they also specifically said that they aren't ready to do a Steam Deck 2 yet because they haven't seen the sizable jump that they want in processing power. So they're waiting for like the 3080 jump from like 20 to the 20 series NVIDIA GPUs to 30. They're waiting for another one of those before they.
I mean, that's
Steam Deck 2.
It's kind of
smart.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And not shitty of them for consumers.
It's like I said a while back. Like these don't need to be cell phones, right? Like you don't need a new Steam Deck every year.
Nope.
Yeah.
Treat it as a console. Release one every 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
They also updated the Wi-Fi 6E, which they say will allow downloads to go up to 3 times faster for increased bandwidth, lower latency. And the fans got an upgrade as well, hopefully making the system run a lot cooler when you're running those graphic hog games on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, it does get, the original version does get pretty toasty.
Yep.
All the models are basically what your top ranked Steam Deck prices would be. Your low end 512 gigabyte is $549 American, 1 terabyte OLED is $649, and then the limited edition one is $679. It's also 1 terabyte. And then all of the previous generation Steam Decks have all gone down in price.
Yep, they got a little bit cheaper, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, this is great. I can't imagine too many people being upset about what they did.
No.
I'm going to buy one.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
I
don't know if she'll stop staring at me like that.
I'm not going to buy one because I already have a Steam Deck and it's pretty good.
Yep, Steam Decks are great.
Yeah, I know you guys have one too.
Yep.
The other Steam news is, I mentioned this partly because we just did our episode 69 not long ago. And it's actually something that I wondered about because I was like, it's kind of weird that if you buy...
You got something you're trying to hide.
Well, so honestly, I went through this when I bought Work Massage on my account because I was like, this isn't a game that, like, I'm not buying this to play it. I'm buying it to, like, check it out for Dice to Pixels. It's a little weird that it's going to, like, show up on my, like, profile page as, like, Adrian's been playing Orc Massage. It's like, well, technically, yes.
I took a screen grab of that notification.
So anyways, the new news is that Steam will soon let you hide the games. Ostensibly, people are like, it'll let you hide porn games, but I think it'll just let you hide anything, which, to be honest, is actually useful because there's been times where I'm like, oh, that guy owns this game. I don't want them to know that I'm buying it.
So now you can hide those porn games, you dirty, dirty boy.
Damn right.
Dirty, dirty girl.
Honestly, I would mostly use
Sarah.
it for things like, I don't want, that guy to know that I'm playing the same game as them, because then they might want to play together. Do you have anyone like that, like, no matter what game you play, they always want to multiplayer, like, every day, all the time?
I used to.
Like, I don't mind multiplayer every now and then, but it's like, I also just like game to just chill. And so, like, couch co-op's great, but like online multiplayer, I'm like, that's the whole thing, and I gotta like deal with shit. And
It's more that where it was the days where you get home and you just want to relax and you just want to chill and you want to play, and then that's when it's like, hey, you're online, you want to play this?
Yeah,
hey, you
want to group up? It's
hey,
like,
you want to play this?
No, not really.
No, man, I need to chill, dude. I'm just
Oh,
you want to do this then?
Yeah. And like I have a couple of friends who will ask me when I'm online. They're like, hey, do you want to, and I'll just tell them, because like we're good friends and we've talked about this and everything else, and we're the kind of friends where it's like, no, I don't want to hang out tonight. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
a good
fine.
friend.
But then other people are like, they don't get that, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
So you will?
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, but I really need help with this quest. It's like, I don't care.
Can I get you a pizza?
Right. But anyways, yeah, so that's a new thing from Steam. I thought that was a long overdue feature. Probably not super high requests for it, but kind of an obvious feature.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
What's our time looking like?
Probably
we're a
about
little
40
over
minutes,
half.
I think.
Okay.
I think we're at 40 because I was late.
What do we want to pick off next?
I mean, I want to talk about the WoW War Within trailer release because, oh my God, it looked amazing. And Blizzard needs to stop doing good cinematics because now I want to fucking play WoW again.
Yeah, of all the fucking companies, and we will dovetail later, but of all the companies that are like, yeah, you could do live action videos of your video games, Blizzard, man, they've been fucking nailing it from day one.
Oh yeah. No, I'm glad that they don't, because
Me too.
I honestly wish that World of Warcraft movie that came out a few years ago was purely like done in the same cinematic style that their games
Yeah.
trailers are done, because I would have watched the hell out of that. And
Oh,
apparently
I
they're
agree.
making another movie.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like they're the one company that if they released, I mean, I called it live action, but really, I mean, but their rendered animations are pretty fucking close to live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take like all of the cinematics from, like, I'll take like Warcraft 3 for example, right? You could take all of the cinematics from that and just play them all in order and get such a like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking
We've done
good.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like I said live action, but what I really meant was like they're the company that could actually make like a kick-ass
Mhm.
cinematic movie.
Mhm.
It doesn't need to be live action, but like rendered.
Well, kind of
they
like
could
what
do well.
SquareSoft did with Final Fantasy Advent Children,
That's
or
what I
even
was-
that Final Fantasy 7,
The-
the one that they just did the movie. Fuck, I can't think of the name of it. The one it took place after Final Fantasy 7, but it was like a CG movie.
Oh yeah, fuck. What is that
I
called? My
can't.
sister
Advent
watched.
Children.
Yeah,
Advent Children.
Yeah, you just mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
yeah,
was only
sorry.
aware of one
They
Final
they
Fantasy.
No,
well,
movie.
there's
they
another
did
one.
they did
Yeah.
another one. They did
Yeah.
another, like an actual
Before
movie
that.
called Final Fantasy, and
Oh.
it was completely different. But this
Mhm.
Advent Children was the sequel to basically Final Fantasy 7, and it was like what happens after. Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
everything.
I think I watched the Final Fantasy movie.
It was like in space.
It's-
Yeah,
yeah,
they were
the main
like-
character is
I
a woman.
remember they
Yeah.
like jumped out of a helicopter or a
Yeah.
plane or something and like shot little canisters of goo and landed in the goo. I'm
Maybe?
like 90% sure that's.
That
Are you
sounds
sure that
vaguely-
wasn't orc massage?
Well, there were canisters of goo.
Oh God.
I think that was a scene from the movie. They like jumped out
sounds
and they
kind
like
of
shot like
familiar,
cannons of goo
yeah.
at the ground instead of a parachute.
Oh, man.
That's so weird. Adrian Kemp just blocked me on Steam.
But yeah, so World of Warcraft, are you actually gonna play? I tried to get back in a while back and
Yeah.
I never had the time to do it.
Well, that's it. It's like it's such a time sink, and I don't have
Yeah.
people to play with anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like sometimes that is nice, even if they're like doing something completely different. Just chatting
Yeah.
online is sometimes nice.
My
and
brother would play with it.
I know.
Yeah, I mean there are people that I know that would totally get online and play, but I always feel bad about that because I'm always the one who plays the least.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like, hey, do you want to like play World of Warcraft? I'm gonna, and then it's like, but I'll be the one who doesn't play very much. So I'm really just asking, do you want to play World of Warcraft? And then I'll join you
Yeah.
occasionally.
Yeah.
Does your character have a backpack? Because I'd like to ride in it.
Right.
Yeah. Like I joined it again a few years ago and played through.
You're playing classic, weren't you?
Yeah, no, but even before that, it was a few years ago. And
Shadowplay?
yeah, I think it was after Shadowlands had come out, and then just playing through that main campaign, and then like the guild that I had joined at that time, like everyone had played through for so long that they were like so over leveled, and
That's
it's just
the other problem.
yeah. So it's just like I don't feel good about joining groups, and then I didn't know how to do the not the mythic dungeons. I didn't even know
yeah.
how to like get a
Yeah.
group for that for the longest time, and then I felt bad because I'm like
Yeah.
so out of date with healing and stuff, and people were dying, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, it's starting to suffer from the Eve Online
Yeah.
issue where it's like it's a chore to get back up to speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had at one point you and I were gonna play and we were gonna stream it, and that was like a thing, but we did it like twice maybe. And
Yeah.
it never really gelled. I think it's because you can't make very much progress in like a couple hours
No,
streaming. So
It
like you've
needs
got to
be-
do
yeah.
you got to play for 20 hours in between streams to like catch up on all the shit. And it's an investment game for
Yeah.
sure.
Unless you're gonna like do it from a like no death or death permadeath type thing. Like if you're gonna do
we
it
could
pure-
do hardcore characters.
Yeah, that would be
I'd
fun.
almost be up for that.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that we would totally be able to do if we ever went full time with
Yeah.
this. But until then, it's
But yeah, something with this new expansion, they are doing a early access with it.
I saw that.
Yeah, So if
and
you
they
buy
were like, it won't give you a long-term advantage.
No.
It's like, of course it won't.
long,
Duh.
anyone that thinks early access gives them a long-term advantage is kind of delusional. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Given that it's a Blizzard title and it's World of Warcraft, I wouldn't be paying anything extra to get early access because it will be down. It won't work.
Well, it's a first-party Xbox game now.
There you go.
Jesus, it is, isn't it?
It's true.
Wow.
It is actually
first-party
Hey.
Microsoft.
Maybe now it'll fucking work.
See what happens, right?
Yeah, I'd be real careful about getting. I mean, Diablo 4 only it was only down for like the first day.
Yeah.
So of the 3, so that's not so bad.
Yeah. Well, and they've probably learned their lesson from that. But then also saying that, as I'm saying it, I'm like, wait, no, there has been a bajillion releases now, and it has fucked up every single time.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I just want to point out that you just said Blizzard learned their lesson.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Diablo 4's over there.
Come on now. So yeah, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Every time I see WoW stuff, I'm like, oh, I could play that again, but I can't. I don't have the time to.
Yeah.
I can barely play any games these days.
Yeah.
Well, but that's a temporary issue. But I did actually play one this week. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Speaking of other release trailers,
Yeah.
Rockstar announced their first trailer for GTA 6. I like how there was an announcement for a trailer release.
Yeah, I mean, fucking come on.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Did they actually come out and say that it's going to be a GTA 6 trailer?
Yes.
They did?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right on the Rockstar website.
Because I was joking, we were joking about this, and I was going to say, like, they'll come out and they'll show a trailer, and then it'll just be Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox XX.
Wouldn't that be the thing?
Oh my God.
That'd be a...
No, this probably won't happen, but what would completely fucking rock my socks off is if the 25th anniversary stream happens, they do the trailer, and then right at the end of the trailer, they just put available now. That would fucking blow me away.
That would blow away most of the world.
Yeah, I mean, so they won't do that for a couple of reasons.
No, I know.
Mostly because it's happening in December and it wouldn't give people enough time to buy it as a Christmas gift.
But if it happens, you heard it here first.
Fair enough. Just timing wise, it won't happen. But it would be fucking great if they did. I would give them huge props if they did that.
You'd just be able to download the damn thing right away.
Yeah. I mean, when Chad said I had already seen the headlines, but when Chad said that the GTA 6 trailer was coming out, and I said, and nobody fucking cares, which of course is not true. Lots of people care. But what I was getting at is like, nobody is going to suddenly decide that they're going to buy GTA 6 because of the trailer, and nobody who's currently planning to buy it is going to be like, never mind, I don't care anymore. Like,
well, to be honest, when they did the release trailer for the latest Saints Row 2019 or whatever, I was looking forward to it before, and then I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh, never mind.
But did you still buy it?
No, Chad bought it.
Oh, okay.
No, because we seen the trailer and we were like, oh, that'll be interesting.
No, I said that it was not going to be great. I said it'd be interesting, but it won't be good.
I do believe I remember Sarah saying that.
Fuck, I don't.
To me, not obviously. I wasn't there when you saw
it. It was a few trailers later when they started showing the goofy shit that they had started putting in. Then it was like, oh, okay, maybe be a little bit more like what I was used to with 3 and 4.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, GTA 6, it's going to be a GTA game and it's going to look better than 5. Like, they'd have to do something profoundly weird, either good or bad, to move the needle on the number of people that are going to buy that game. Because right now it's everyone who likes GTA is going to buy it, and maybe a few other people. So they'd have to piss people off, or they'd have to like somehow get people who don't like GTA games to suddenly want the 6th edition of the GTA series. It's whatever. The trailer's irrelevant to me. It's like, yeah, just tell me when it's available and I'll fucking click buy. Like, come on.
That's why I say if they say like available now after that trailer,
that would be amazing. Yes, if it comes with an available now or like available January 1st or something, which they won't do because if they were that close, they'd release it for the Christmas season.
Yeah,
but if any of that comes out, yeah, that would be amazing. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, it's gonna look great. Whatever.
Do you think they're gonna do another thing where they switch from protagonist to protagonist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Over under on at least one female protagonist.
I think it'll be a female and a male.
I agree.
I think there will be 5.
5 people?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yep. I have reasons for that are way too long to get into on the podcast. I think there will be 5. So if I'm right, I'll explain why I thought that. Otherwise, it's not worth the time.
Kind of like a live action Zelda movie.
Well, I think the so to be clear, I'm not convinced you'll necessarily be playing all 5 when the game comes out. But I think
eventually, yeah, they'll be like.
I think they'll set up 5, and then there'll probably be a couple of DLCs.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now, what was this about live action movie? You said, Chad?
It's Jesus.
Let's make every fucking movie into a live action video. Sorry, I said movie and I meant game.
Nintendo announced that there'll be a live action Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah.
And it's going to be helmed by both Shigeru Miyamoto, who created Zelda, and Marvel Studios founder Avi Arad.
There's the problem.
In partnership with Sony Pictures Entertainment.
So
who's Chris Pratt going to play?
Well, obviously,
Navi, the little annoying angel, annoying fairy?
I watch that.
I would just like to point out that the guy's name is Avi and Navi. Yeah.
I hope that Chris Pratt plays Ganondorf. That's what I hope. Anyways.
I want Jack Black to play Ganondorf.
Tingle the fairy.
Look.
Or Navi.
In isolation, a Zelda movie, okay, cool. Like, it's a fantasy movie. I'm into fantasy movies. It might be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fine. That's not the problem. It's the fact that they've got a fucking Marvel person involved doesn't surprise me. They're going down the same fucking road as Marvel and DC and everything else. They're going to do 8,000 of these movies, and people are already starting to get tired of them. But they're going to try and milk it for everything they possibly can. And it's burning goodwill. All of the major studios, they've lost the ability to innovate. So they're just like, let's milk every fucking cent out of our existing user base. And it's stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to care, because like the biggest thing with me about the Zelda property is that Link never talks.
Well, you don't know that he will in the movie.
No, they'll probably get somebody fucking annoying to play Link.
I mean,
like Chris Pratt.
I don't know that I'd label him as annoying. But
I don't know. Like
it'll be dumb. Like, I don't think it'll be a good movie.
No.
But I'm sure lots of people will like it. Like, I didn't think the Mario Brothers movie was particularly good, but lots of people liked it.
But at least with that, it was CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much that'll matter.
Yeah, well, visually that made more sense for Mario. I don't know what would make sense for Legend of Zelda, whether live action would be better or an animated version.
I don't think it
You know
matters.
what? Wait, nope, that wouldn't either. Oh, no, maybe. I was just going to say, like, having CGI kind of like the Final Fantasy game, or Final Fantasy movies were like...
Yeah, I mean, at that point, the difference between live action and not is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do photorealistic rendering, the difference between actually using actors is pretty irrelevant.
Yeah, but then you can, like, do crazy flips and stuff.
Yeah, they'll still do that. They'll just use... I mean, look at the Marvel movies, right? Like, they managed... Like, Infinity War, they managed some pretty interesting acrobatics during combats and everything.
True.
They'll still manage it. No, it'll probably be fine for some definition of fine. It's just that the rate that they're bringing these out is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, do one every 4 years, not announce them back to back.
Yeah.
You're just going to fatigue everybody. Nobody's going to care about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be clear, I don't give two shits about a Zelda movie. I'm not going to watch it.
No, me neither.
But I also recognize that there are lots of people that are excited about this announcement. It's just that that's fine. There were lots of people that were excited about the Mario movie, than lots of people, minus a little bit, that are excited about Zelda. And then when they do Donkey Kong, it'll be minus a little bit more. And then when they do Donkey Kong meets Mario Part 1, it'll be like they're doing the Marvel thing, and it's fucking stupid.
Crash Bandicoot movie.
Right.
Live action. It's just the suit from the 90s.
Yeah. This is a bad plan. Stop now while you're ahead. Slow it down, release them much slower, and people will still care. If you flood the market with these movies, they won't just stop caring. They'll be actively like hostile towards them. So yeah, I think they're doing something stupid, but I don't think it's Zelda that's stupid. Like a Zelda movie is fine, whatever. It's just stop doing them.
Yeah.
Give it a break.
Yep. Anyway,
Cool. What have we been playing this week?
Yeah.
Okay, so I finished Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yay, that was great.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I like the first one better.
Yeah.
But
how was the ending? No spoilers, but how'd you like it?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I kind of I've read that Insomniac's confirmed that Miles Morales is going to be the main Spider-Man now for the franchise, and I'm like, okay, sure, cool, I get it, but on the other hand, I don't. But whatever. We'll see what happens.
He's a good character.
He's good. Yeah,
Yep.
he is a good character, but I'm a traditionalist. I like my Peter Parker Spider-Man, but it was
Fair
good.
enough.
I ended up getting RoboCop Rogue City.
Yep.
What a fun little fucking game that
Still
was.
having fun with it?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you're done?
I finished it. It was fun. It pretty much picks up right at the end of RoboCop 2, and it leads into RoboCop 3.
Cool.
And holy shit, like it was good.
Yeah.
Like it was really, really good. I liked it. It was just a nice, straightforward. You have like your kind of missions, and you're just going off and doing your thing, and you can walk around a map and give people parking tickets for parking in front of a fire hydrant or illegally parking, or like it's your cop, your RoboCop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. It was good. The gunplay was really fun.
Other than aiming, sometimes
yeah, the aiming felt weird. There was a number of times where I know that I was like right over top of somebody's head, and you'd pull the trigger and it would miss.
Yeah,
and it's like what the fuck? But yeah, once
Cool.
I got the one mod for the gun that just basically gave you like unlimited fire. It was like, but
yeah, fair enough.
No, it was fun. It was a good game. Again, it's something that I would say if you're a fan of the old RoboCop movies, you'd probably want to play it, but I would wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah,
because once you play it, I mean,
not a lot of replayability.
No, not really.
No.
Not really.
And it's not really a AAA game by any means. So
No.
So
What's it going for?
Well, 79 on PlayStation.
Oh, wow, okay.
I got it. I think it was cheaper on Xbox. I think I only paid like,
but that's still
pretty pricey.
That's
But
a spendy game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Did have a great character name of Pickles in there.
Pickles is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every game should have pickles.
Right.
One way or another.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Sarah? What have you been playing?
I finished Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoil the ending for us. I'm kidding.
He woke up.
He's Spider-Man.
Yes. He woke up.
Alan Wake woke?
Alan. So the next game won't be called Alan Wake. It'll be called Alan Woke. But no, they definitely left it open for a third one.
Yeah, of course.
Or maybe it will be a tie-in with Control 2. I don't know.
Sure.
They'll have DLC for it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Anything else or just Alan Wake 2?
You tried that other one that
I
came
tried
out on Game Pass.
Thirsty Suitors. I tried a demo earlier in the year on Steam, and it came up on Game Pass. So I downloaded that, and I think I only played through what was on the thing before, but yeah, it's all right.
Is it as like not safe for work as it sounds?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's very bright and colorful.
Okay.
And it is it's a fighting dating sim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was weird looking.
It was a little bit weird, yeah.
Fair enough.
There's actually something on Game Pass that you might be interested in.
Oh, yeah?
It just came out. It's called Dungeons 4.
Okay.
You basically build it's like a builder.
Oh, okay.
I think you dig it because
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's building your evil empire.
That is like my whole life. So
Yeah, it's reminding all the villagers in the surrounding areas that you rule the area.
All right, yeah, I'll check it out. That sounds like something I would enjoy. I have been playing a new game. It just released yesterday, so 2 days ago for you. It's called Mob Factory, and it's sort of like a tower defense version of Factorio-ish. It's pretty weird. So you start with a single island and a single spawn of worms, and it like spawns 4 worms, and you have to like put up your tower defense, like your crossbow or whatever, to kill them.
Mhm.
And then they leave behind like pieces, like worm pieces, and then you build a little conveyor belt that funnels those into a little assembler, which creates like coins or more assemblers or more conveyor belts or whatever. And then you can buy the next island, and so that island just runs. It will run forever with the 4 worms getting killed and producing whatever you. And then the next one's like spiders, and same thing. You can like set it up to build things out of that, and then you can buy like the next island and the next island, and each individual island is its own little thing, but they're all connected. So you can like send parts from this one over to this one, and you can add spawn points and like build up like this factory of just like mob murdering. Everything you build comes from murdering these creatures, and you can just create like this gigantic factory of death. And it's weird, but I'm kind of into it. So I'll probably be playing a bunch more of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very strange. But if you like Factorio and you like tower defense, this is probably a game that a lot of people would enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try.
Oh, and it's $17. Just
there you
FYI.
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and finish Cyberpunk, but I'm also near the end of Sea of Stars on the PS5. So
Oh yeah, I still haven't actually finished it. I need to actually wrap it up at some point.
yeah, it's fucking so good.
It's a good game.
It
Yeah.
just won best indie game for the Golden Joysticks.
Yeah.
I believe it was Golden Joystick.
Yep, I think that's right. And what was it? Was it Starfield? No, it was Baldur's Gate that won like fucking 80 of them.
Yeah,
That's unsurprising.
Not surprising at all.
No.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is pretty much going to guarantee get Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
there was some talk like Starfield maybe, but it's kind of spent, and also it was an Xbox pre-release, so like an Xbox
Yeah.
early release.
Yeah.
So I think it'll struggle to get any real ground. I think it'll be Baldur's 3, which it's a good game,
Yeah.
but there are better ones.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's the end of 71.
Yeah, I think that wraps up episode 71. There's a few things that I've had on the back burner that I'm not going to be making progress on for a couple weeks because I'm scrambling to get ready for a woodworking fair. Well, it's a fair that I'm bringing woodworking stuff to. And Sarah's doing it too. Different stuff.
Yeah.
But so things are going to be, we're doing the podcast and everything, but like the other stuff that I've been working on in the background is probably going to be shelved for a couple weeks. But starting in December, I'm going to try and do some D&D games, both live and not live, and do some more streaming because it's been a while since I've streamed.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
do
All right,
wanna-
Sarah,
Do you want to
take
take
us-
us out?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us again here on Dice to Pixels. Tell us what you're playing this week. Tell us what you think of the Zelda movie and WoW and all the fun stuff that we talked about. Are you going to be watching Escapist's new channel? If you do, please tell everyone.
Second Wind.
Second Wind.
And actually, also let us know what your Game of the Year picks are so far.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
I would be interested in playing some of the ones that other people think have won.
Sea of Stars.
I know yours. Unless your Game of the Year is Baldur's 3, and in which case, like, still comment it, but like I don't care because I already know about it. But if you've got other games that you've really enjoyed this year, I want to know.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us again. Tell 3 friends, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you again next week.
We love y'all.
GGFG.